Well, you're asking questions as well. Let's see if we can try to answer that. Our hashtag is AskCricbuzz Ame Jadhav, Ame Man United. That's just Sean Pollock's other handle, essentially. Rishabh Pant is batting slower this season. Is this signs of him maturing and playing to the team's requirement, or is this a form thing? Gentlemen, who'd like to take it?
Well, Ricky, they did a discussion about Ricky. He said in the dressing room with one of the speeches that were shown on social media about this is his blueprint. This is the way he wants him to play, minimal risk, and he still scored at a strike rate of 160. I think sometimes the penny does have to drop with these aggressive batsmen. You're trying to be aggressive without being reckless. If you can cut your risk rate down from 80% to 60% most of the time, then you're going to be more consistent and going to keep performing. And I think that's what the team needed from him. You don't want him to lose his flair, but he's got to rein it in at times and play according to the situation. So that is maybe a sign of him maturing.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, is this the problem? Is people just expecting 180, 200 from him every time in terms of strike rate?
Yeah, I guess so. He probably expected that as well. But the most important thing when you start to mature is you want to be consistent. And the only way you can really be consistent is you can't just expect to be striking at 180 in every single game. You just don't see the ball as well on every occasion that you go out to bat. The opposition ball well tuned, you've got to respect that. What Rishabh's done already in his career, he's taken the field just a little bit deeper because of the way that he hits the ball. So if he's smart, he'll realise that you might get the fielders in tight for 2 or 3 balls, but then they'll just go a little bit deeper, and the ones and the twos are always going to be there for him. I guess what teams will do to him is dangle the carrot for the big shot all the time. He looks to me like he's one of those kind of characters that if you're out in the field, you'd probably egg him on to playing the shots. You'd be opening up an area or two, having a word in his ear to try and get him hitting into the areas that potentially he wouldn't fancy. But he just looks like, whether he's maturing, that would be a good sign for Indian cricket. If he can really start to find his kind of temperament and calmness in all situations, that's only going to do Indian cricket a huge amount of good. And as I said, I'll keep mentioning it, those young Indian players in that dressing room with Ricky Ponting, you couldn't ask for a better tutor, just to be in your ear, talking you through batting, different situations, facing different bowlers, keeping yourself very level-headed for the next game. If you've done well in one game, that's gone. You've got to go into the next game. And consistency is the key. Even in T20 cricket, the best players, they find a way of being consistent. And Rishabh's got to find a way of being consistent across the T20 game.
Got to be a sponge when you're around Ricky Ponting. SpongeBob Rishabh Pant, yeah? Paulie, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, after that speech we saw about the blueprint, you can imagine the comments out there in the middle saying, listen, he's going away from Ricky's blueprint here. He's not going according to the plans of the coach. If he starts to swap, they'll be on his case. Young guys, you can sometimes get through to them with the odd comment.